Hold still, Doodle. This is for your own good. Take that, and this, and this, and that, and this,
Yo, what is up, guys, and welcome back to McAD's Entertainment. I'm your host, as always, Adam McGahee. Finally back to the channel here with some exciting Star Wars news from probably the most untrustworthy media site on the internet, cosmicbook.news. Why are we even covering this today? Man, I don't know. Let's just take a look at this. Before we hop into this video, be sure to smash that like button like Mace Windu destroyed Palpatine's face, and be sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell, for it really helps the channel out. So according to an article published by the site on the 29th of June, Disney is allegedly planning to reset the timeline of their Star Wars trilogy that started with The Force Awakens. This news comes from the Doomcock Overlord DVD YouTube channel, who claims that a Star Wars civil war is happening over at Lucasfilm between Kathleen Kennedy and Jon Favreau. Allegedly, the timeline of the sequel trilogy will be retconned using a concept that was introduced in the animated TV show Star Wars Rebels. In the final season of that show, the episode The World Between Worlds introduces the concept of the Veil of the Force, which was a mystical dimension of the Force that connected all of time and space. The YouTuber claims that he has sources at Lucasfilm who say that due to the issues that the sequel trilogy caused, the film company is planning to use The World Between Worlds as a way to remove the films from canon and place it in its own timeline. This article goes into some interesting detail of how exactly that can be done. The article actually reads word for word here. Emperor Palpatine has a room on the second Death Star called the Room of Mirrors. The mirrors were created by the Emperor prior to the Death Star through the dark side using ancient Sith rituals. The mirrors linked to the Veil of the Force served many purposes. Using them, Palpatine could manipulate the Force in many ways to further his aims. For example, the use of the mirrors allowed Palpatine to cloud the Jedi Council to conceal himself and his dark apprentices from the Jedi and from Force sensitives that followed their fall. Using the mirrors allowed Palpatine to access the awesome powers of the Veil of the Force. They were indispensable tools that allowed him to rise to the pinnacle of ultimate power. It is this conceit that explains how Palpatine survived Darth Vader throwing him down the shaft in the throne room of the Death Star. In desperation as he fell, Palpatine opened a portal to the Veil of the Force and entered it. This explains why Palpatine is in such a damaged state in The Rise of Skywalker, as transporting himself into the Veil without the aid of the mirrors drained him and damaged him severely. Doomcock goes on to explain that the Emperor created a second set of mirrors on Exegol that allowed him to escape where he plotted the rise of the Empire. Regarding how things will be reset, it's explained that all one has to do is go into the Veil of Mirrors and wait for Palpatine to enter, as the Veil is a mystical dimension wherein all times collide, which will cause the Disney Star Wars trilogy to consign to its own alternate timeline forever, as Palpatine enters the Veil and never actually gets to Exegol. So since the Emperor never survives, that means that the events of The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker never come to pass in the George Lucas timeline. Doomcock offers proof that this may be happening in a scene that was included in The Rise of Skywalker, which featured Rey confronting her dark side self, where mirrors can actually be seen in the background. It's said it's unknown if J.J. Abrams knew what this scene was about, but it demonstrates the plausibility of this rumor. The scene features broken mirrors where one mirror is still intact, which the dark side Rey emerges from. Now, as I said before, all of this news should be taken with a huge grain of salt. Cosmic Book News is not a very reputable news source, but I am doing this video to speculate and honestly daydream about the future of Star Wars and where it's going. If this news is to be true, it would please a lot of fans who did not like the approach that the new set of movies took, such as killing Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia, without them ever getting to reunite in person. In my personal opinion, I really enjoyed the new movies. I wasn't crazy about The Last Jedi when I saw it in theaters, but upon a couple rewatches, I actually really like it, and if this news were to be true, it would create the possibility of a Star Wars multiverse that would honestly be a great way for writers to think of limitless possibilities for new stories for movies, shows, and video games. And with the recent success of The Mandalorian show, Jedi Fallen Order, the complete rework that was Battlefront 2, and the promising look of the new Star Wars Squadrons game, it would appear that both Disney and Lucasfilm are listening to the fans and are looking for ways to create new content that people love. Now, I'm a sucker for anything Star Wars and look to the future with high hopes. Now, let me know what you think of the speculation in the comments below. Do you think that this would be a good way to retcon the last movies? Would you want them to even be retconned in the first place? Let me know, and once again, be sure to subscribe. This has been Adam McGahee with McAdee's Entertainment. Thanks again so much for watching, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.